It's another exciting edition of the book with me, Susan Bell. And on today's edition, we are glad to receive Pascal Mani. He is the author of the book we are looking at today, titled No More Meat in This House. It is a novel very interesting, very captivating, which would like all of you watching today to grab a copy and read. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm okay, I'm fine.
You're fine?
I'm fine, thank you to have invited me.
Okay, then that's great. Well, you have written No More Meat in This House. First, I want to ask you, do you eat meat? Do you like eating meat?
Not really like, but from time to time, I can eat meat.
Time to time, what do you mean by from time to time? Just try to situate us.
Once a month.
Once a month?
Yes.
And why did you choose to eat meat once a month?
But for sanitation.
Okay.
Because I'm not very fond of meat, but I prefer vegetable.
Okay. Is it because you prefer eating vegetable that you want to sensitize people that they shouldn't be eating meat in their houses?
No, you know, I talked about a story which happened in one place there in my area, where somebody just decided to, because he was suspecting the wife to have interaction with a butcher, and he decided not to have meat in his house.
Okay.
So I just picked up the idea and put it as a novel.
Okay, so that's what inspired you?
Yes, madam.
Tell us briefly what No More Meat in This House is all about.
Yes, Papi wanted to be a priest or monk according to his first desire. But at a certain time, the mother realized that since he was an orphan, he may become a priest and not have a family. So that's why he pleaded that he should be dismissed from the seminar or from the monastery in order to get married and to have a family. And then he got married, and it's there that the story starts. Well, you know that as you read it, the family wanted that the brother-in-law should take the mother, the widow, as a wife. He refused it, saying that he cannot wear, he cannot take a clothes torn by somebody else, so he refused. But at the end, he died without being married.
Getting married and having children.
Yes, he was bachelor till, and at the end, you know the story of the meat, but it was only suspicion because they had only 3 girls, and the woman wanted a boy. She proposed another sex position. It was not as the normal one they were using. And,
That's a funny one.
From that, the man becomes suspicious and thought that maybe the woman
one is having an extramarital affair.
That's it.
Okay.
And, from that, but at the end, everything got
Came
normal,
back to normal. Yeah.
to normal. So he just apologized, and that's the end of the story.
Okay, very interesting. Well, I think there's just more to the story that you want to read. We're going to take our first break on this edition of the program, which is titled The Forward. And we had Tekemba.
Humphrey.
Yes, he wrote the foreword of this book. He had something to say as far as this book is concerned. Let's watch.
Governor Pascal Mani is a retired seasoned civil administrator who has worked in many regions of Cameroon and also in the English region. I think he fell in love with the English culture and to write a book in English was a challenge for him. And writing that book in English it comes to bring out the national unity that is craved in Cameroon. Many Cameroonians of the French expression really hesitate to even talk in English. I think that's a good point. Now, there are many aspects within the book that a reader stands to gain, especially aspect of marriage, where he described the situation where the main actor got his wife through the arrangement of priests, and that woman, I want to tell you, was a model because she was very humble. There are also many aspects of in that book that many people will stand to gain, especially humility. I will encourage those who are watching me to get a copy of the book and read so as to benefit from what the administrator, the civil administrator, has to say.
You're welcome back to this set, and of course you're watching the book with me, Susan Bell, and my guest is Pascal Mani. You have written several books.
Yes.
Several books in French, in the French language. Why
But
did you?
some are translated.
Yes. So why did you decide to write this one particularly in English?
It was a personal challenge. I learned French in schools. I also learned English. I did my writing in French. Why not in English? That's why I decided to write in English. It was a personal challenge, so I'm happy to have done that.
And so what are the feedbacks that you're getting from the film?
Yes, it seems to be interesting because I gave it to one friend to find out why there's no mistake inside. Instead of finding out, instead of proofreading seriously, he was only enjoying the book, and so he was obliged to read it twice before starting, seeing whether there's a mistake or foul somewhere. So the feedback is positive.
Okay, the well-behaved Papi, you know, when he was young, he was really well-behaved. You agree with me?
Yes.
Because we have a young...
Despite this problem of goats.
Yes. Yes, we know that he used to bring the mother's goats to people's farms to eat their crops, which in fact made them to dislike him. But after all, he was a good boy.
He was a good boy.
Why did you choose to present him as a good boy? Is there a specific reason for that?
I think that this character was imposed by himself, just showing that one cannot be totally positive. You can be positive, but have some difficulty to be accepted in the, by the society. That was the profound idea.
Papi was living a very good life when he became an adult. He became a married man with 3 children, and all of a sudden he decides that there will be no more meat in that house because of suspicion. What do you think suspicion can do in a relationship?
It can bring evil. That's why at the end, it's suggested to have dialogue among partners in order to avoid this type of trouble in a couple. So suspicion is not good. It's not good, and but it's human. It's normal. But anyhow, one should avoid to be suspicious.
Why did Papi even become suspicious? Why did he become suspicious?
You know, he was surprised that any time he has meat in his compound, even when he did not give money. He did not know that the woman, the wife, was held by the butcher. He was it was taking this meat by credit. It took this meat by credit to pay in installment. So at the end, but the man did not know. You know, this type of arrangement women are doing. The men don't know, usually. So that's what happened.
So you are in one way or the other telling the people that it's not good to do things without the concern of your partner, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We are going to continue our discussion. It's time for us to take this Vox Pop. It is our second break on this program. And it's time for us to let the people talk. They are responding to this question: what causes suspicion in a union? And this is, of course, what they had to say. Let's watch.
In a union which is believed to be, first of all, initially faithful, I think what some of the things that can cause suspicion in a union is, first of all, distrust. If someone cannot trust the other, then that one will always keep suspecting that the other might be going otherwise. There is also lies telling. Lies telling meaning you are not consistent in what you are saying. So it's assumed that you are telling a lie. And if you assume to tell a lie, it causes suspicion also in a union.
On a personal note, I would say it's changed behavior. You notice that there's a distance between you two. Like, let me take communication for instance. If you called each other, let me say 3 or 4 times a day, you might notice that you even forget to call your spouse, or you call just once. Delay in replies. Maybe if your spouse was the type that replies to your messages immediately, you might notice that it might take even a whole day for him to notice that you sent a message. And secondly, in terms of misunderstandings, there will be a lot of misunderstandings between you two. Like any small thing, any little issue amongst you two provokes anger, because he is receiving attention elsewhere.
It's distrust. When there's no trust between the two, it cannot move. Like you want to go to a meeting, the person will think that maybe you want to go somewhere. So it brings distrust. So if there is no trust, there will always be conflict in the union. You have confidence and trust in your partner. You don't need to have fear or anything otherwise when the person is doing something or going somewhere.
You're welcome back, and of course, you are watching The Book with me, Susan Bell, and my guest on the book is Pascal Mani. He has written No More Meat in This House, a title that you definitely smile at. You heard people out there talking about what causes suspicion in a union. So if I turn to you and ask what causes suspicion in a union, what will you say?
Some small details in the life. If you are not aware of something, since the mind is working permanently, you may think maybe this, and a lack of confidence. When you start lacking confidence, there is no dialogue. You have the intention that this thing, I think the mind is always moving to think about situation. It can guide you to suspicion, to jealousy, and so and so.
You know, you said you're above 70, right? You're going towards your 80s.
Yes.
Yes. In your own personal relationship, have you ever suspected your wife of something?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
Uh-huh.
I thank God for that.
Okay. You're a blessed man.
Yes, I'm a blessed man.
Okay. We thank God that you're a blessed man. There are others who are not blessed. But I think this book is going to teach them a lot, that it's not good to be suspicious, because it's not good to be suspicious, because suspicion brings a lot of trouble.
Even for nothing, being suspicious for nothing. And when you have some element which can guide you, we can give the normal basis of your suspicion. This one can be normal. But just to think in your mind, to imagine that this thing might have happened, this one is not good.
Well, you know, Papi was very lucky, wasn't he?
Yes.
Because his wife was not the quarrelsome type.
No.
He was very lucky.
He was very lucky. He was a lucky man. You know, that's why even if, as you can read, life is imperceptible, he wanted to be a priest of Mount. He got married, he got a wife. So he was a lucky man, definitely, since even in his job site, he didn't have any problem. So at the end, he succeeded in his life. That's what we can say.
In a relationship, when suspicion sets in, what should people do? Is it to bring honest communication? Must they communicate honestly so as not to have squabbles?
They must communicate. You should have dialogue, but I'm not really specialist of this matter, but I can imagine that the dialogue may help, and also self-confidence. Should have self-confidence, confidence in yourself, confidence in your partner. So I think it's the only way to avoid this type of situation in the marital life.
There is this part in the book, you earlier mentioned it, where Papi's mother was a young widow, and they wanted Papi's uncle to get married to get married to the widow. Why did you decide to bring out that that part in this book? What did you want to show specifically?
I told her that it's a story which happened in my village. You had somebody like that, the brother died, the family gathered and advised that he should take the young widow. The man refused, saying, reporting the word I put in the book. And at the end, he did not get married. He died, I think he was more than 80 years old. He did not get married anymore. But this woman has a common husband. She got many children after the late man, and she was living normally. So it's something which happened, and just to say that I know that some women who are fighting for female rights are against this thing, but it's happening in our society.
It's happening in our society.
It's not too bad, but the condition that the woman should accept, if she agrees to go to marry late man's brother, that's not a problem. But if you just decided to impose this situation to her, that's why it's not
a problem.
It becomes a problem.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a little break. And this time around, we're having On the Shelf. And we continue to look at editing, all that surrounds editing. It's very important. And our resource person is, of course, a certified editor.
We are contacted if somebody has something, maybe a manuscript. They are writing maybe their thesis and they want you to work on it. They contact you and tell you, I want you to work on this and this. The first thing I'll ask you as an editor is for you to write a synopsis. Now, a synopsis is a summary of your write-up or of your manuscript. Now, why do we ask for this synopsis? Because in the synopsis, I as an editor expect that you are going to tell me what the book is all about. The title of the book, who the readers are, and the purpose of the book. I need to know why you're writing the book, because it's going to give me a better understanding, okay? If I think that it's not a topic that I would like to work on, I'll decline, you know. But if it's okay, I think maybe it will be something interesting, I'll accept. And then I'll tell him, send me a chapter or two. And when he does, I'll go through this chapter and the second chapter, and then I'll see whether he is following what he has written in his synopsis. And if he isn't, I'm going to tell him where he has fallen short. And after that, I'll tell him if I'm still interested in a manuscript, I'll tell him to send his manuscript. Another important thing that we consider here is the fact that manuscripts are classified into 3 different categories: A, B, and C. Now, if you want to work on a manuscript, you need to know in what category they are classified. An A manuscript is a manuscript that has been excellently written, good language, there are little or no errors. A B manuscript is a manuscript which is, I would say, not bad, fairly. It has the ideas, but they have not been clearly and properly articulated. And of course, you see errors that you need to correct. That's a B manuscript. And then a C manuscript is a manuscript that has been poorly written. When you look at it, you see that, oh, there's no structure, everything is just, topsy-turvy, and you're going to have a lot of work if you take that manuscript. A good editor edits a manuscript about 5 times. When I'm done editing the manuscript, and then I'll do proofreading, and then I'll hand it to the author.
Welcome back. Pascal Mani, tell me, do you intend writing more stories?
More stories, but no more in English. But I'm going on. I'm even writing now in French, small stories in French, what we used to call in French nouvelles. Okay. That I'm doing it now.
Okay. So before we draw the curtains on this program, can you tell me what lesson we can learn from this? What are the lessons that we can learn from this book?
There are many items, many subjects. It depends. You say a relationship with churches, for instance. Mm-hmm. They are there. Yeah. Interpersonal relation or marital relation in a couple, they are there. Mm-hmm. Even life in society, you see, I talked about the way lawyers behave in society. They only push their customers to go to court, while we can have social arrangement. That means where people can sit down and arrange situations and discuss and find a solution. They only push people to court just to have their money. All these items, all these subjects are taken into consideration in the book. So I think it's a very good book.
Where can we find this book? And how much does it cost?
$2.5 only. $2.5. I think it can be found at
Publishers?
Publishers, and even at my level. I see maybe also at Matang at Chinga, where they all sell my books there. Mm-hmm. Maybe I can find also some other bookshops. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So you said that you were writing another book. Tell me, what's the title? What should we be expecting?
It will not be in English.
Yes.
Because it took me a lot of time. My English is not so fluent. It was not easy for me to find appropriate words and so and so. So I write in French. The title will be Histoire d'adulte. Okay. Histoire d'adulte. 5 or 6 small stories. And even the next one can be my local language, Iton. I'm from Leke division, so I write in Iton this time. Mm-hmm. It will not be easy, but I will try. So that's my next project.
Okay. We thank you very much for answering present on this edition of the book. And we are hoping that the next time you come up with just what you just told us, you will be our guest. Thank you very much for watching this other edition of the book with me, Susan Bell. Well, we are going to be together again some other day. Goodbye.